there was just one simple to use piece of software that allowed you to take full control over the fans in your system, well, there's an answer for that. Today we're going to do a little tutorial on how to set it up, how to use it, where to find it, and more importantly, how to support this project. This guy has no idea I'm doing this video. This is a single developer type of project, and it is a million times more powerful than any of the garbage, any of the official motherboard slash fan control software people have ever dreamt.
Okay, whatever. We'll deal with that later. Sorry for the gross belch. Okay, so we're gonna add a bevel mod. And I'm gonna use bevels a little bit more often now. That's why not? Why not? And also it's just like I have the budget for it. And my normals do look really bad right now, so let's I think I turned off the okay. Make sure those are on. So I can actually see the bevel. You want nice continuous loops when you're doing a bevel. Something like this. Thankfully, we can do it non-destructively because we want to. And that does look nicer already. Then we'll do the bottom here. Something like this. That's crunchy. Leave the inside out, actually. We'll do percent, I think. Offset's better. Offset's a little bit better. Doesn't really give you a lot of flexibility though. Depth. Also pretty useless. I mean, percent's better. Let's stick with offset for now. It does look nicer. Looks a lot cleaner. Hello, Arctic. Yeah, we're doing a weekend stream. Got to get some stuff done. Actually, that one I will remove the bevel from. Even this one too. Actually, this whole bottom area has kind of a nebulous bake to it, so why not make it? Okay. Something like this for our bake. Let's see if this improves the normals. It looks like it has. Looks like it has, but has it? Has it? I hope. All right, so Q, FBX, we're gonna send this up into our bakes folder. This is the body, so it's painter v2. Do the cage. Export. And then we'll go to substance. Take a little look. Take a little look-see. How's your weekend going, Arctic? Not bad. I have to go out a bit later, and I ran out of milk, which is a travesty. So I'm going to chill in my pajamas all day with snacks. And this looks some flat to me. Oh, where's Unity? That didn't open. Of course. Or no, I think that's crashed. Loading, loading, loading. Right. Still waiting on Unity to open. It takes so long. Why does it take so long? Alright, so we just reset the normal so we can see it looks weird now. Then we go to Substance, save, and reload the texture. Please look better. It seems weird. That looks good. Okay, so something's off with the big still. That don't look right. Don't look right here. That just looks really weird. Yeah, maybe it's the rim lighting. Kind of helps. It does make it look a lot clearer. This is on. Just like a little bit of that, but not as much as it has. Yeah, I think we got to get rid of that, or push it out to the edges. Yeah, that feels better. Okay. We still get it. See how it's coming down and shadowing right there? Yeah, we'll leave those on, but hopefully. Oops. So we have this little chunk right here. Moving forward, I'll never bevel manually again for my low poly. If I ever do that, I want to hit myself upside the head. Because that was a big mistake. I should not have done that. It's just wasted me a lot of pain, time, and effort. Okay. So I updated that. Did the body. The bevel is after the mirror, which is good. And what happens if we put the weighted normal after the triangulate? It looks a little bit better before. And we want to add this here to our bevel because it looks terrible. I just dissolve this. What is this for? Yeah, I'm gonna dissolve. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's give this a shot. Oh, cancel. Refresh the mesh and bake again. Yeah, it looks fine here every time. So the real concern is how does it look here? Excuse me. gonna have to put something here in order to just mask out that area. Or just paint it out. The wings are getting destroyed. Inside out or something. You see that though, this little. I just don't see that at all here. Are we not exporting with? You have apply modifiers on. Ah, set to import. Okay, that looks better. It's getting it a little bit, but it still looks a lot better now. Okay. Man, that stuff makes me feel like I'm going crazy. The metallic seems a little. Is it metallic? I swear it might still be this room lighting. It says blue, bluishness. Usually have not had so much trouble from the reflections. Oh. Is it just the fucking ambient occlusion missing? And that certainly seems to have helped. 2.75 for this guy. A little bit lighter. Or I guess a little stronger actually. Okay, that does look better. Default skybox is still crap, but it looks improved. keep moving. So we are going to separate a few things. We're going to make a new collection. We'll call this body, or say body 2 high poly. Yeah, let's just call it face. Face high poly. So put face high poly right here. And then in both, actually just the high poly collection, we'll select this and send this over to face high poly and hide that. And then we'll make a new collection, which will be face low poly. And we'll put that right here. Turn on low poly collection, take this and send it face low poly. Okay, so now we've separated those two. In our body low poly collection, we can go ahead. Actually, I'd like the eyes to be in there too. But this collection, we go ahead. First, let's get these done. Okay. Oh, we don't even have the poly. Duplicate M by poly. Well, and no, we don't really need to adjust too much right now. Let's look okay. I think we're gonna copy over this bevel. Go ahead and clear the bevel amount. Definitely want a bevel on a few of these items. would it triangulate that way? Crunchy. Let's switch this to percent. Crunchy. Excuse me. All right, once again, we're gonna bake. Definitely looks a lot better. Next, we'll have to clean up this one. And that's pretty much it. I'll actually just export. Oh, it's down here now. Much cleaner. Okay, we're getting the quality we're looking for now. These are still kind of fucked up right there. All right, let's get that bevel on a few more items. Because it helps a ton. It helps a ton. Okay. I'll do the same to this one. Make sure we put it in the right spot. Before the triangulate, want the weighted normal of the triangulate too. Okay. Well, excuse me. Ooh. This one's already had some nasty bevel modifier applied to it. Yeah, we'll just leave that one alone. Already beveled. Wish I had waited a little bit on those, but that's okay. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna stop there. I could really keep going, but I should not. Just want to get this done. Low poly. Gauge. Refresh the mesh. Bake the textures. Take this guy. Send him to oh, okay. Look at that. That is very different. Why is that? All right, well now I don't feel so crazy because there is actually a big difference between those. All right, so something about the geometry node setup that we have is changing the normals. Because we take them and put them here, but the normals look a lot different. And all we're doing is bringing them in. I guess we'll snap. That's a bummer. I guess we just can't use this. All right, well, good to know. So what we'll do is we'll add a We'll add a deformer, displace, to this object using the displace modifier. And we want to adjust that strength first, which way it's pushing. Should be I have the strength that's negative. They'll do, what was it, 0.1? Double check in here. We had it set to 0.2. So pretty sure strength of 0.2 is what we're looking for. And we do want it all the way outward as much as we can. Okay. Then it's a little strong. Let me set it to 0.1. We'll find out. So I'm going to now copy this to all other objects. And we're going to turn on the high poly. Should be 0.2. Yep. Okay, so now we've recreated what we had. And what we'll do now is go to material, and we'll switch this to just a really ugly color so we can tell what is working and what is not. It's a nice avatar. I love the colors. Thank you, Logan. We are in the midst of a battle. So I realized that doesn't matter. We are exporting things incorrectly. Or, yeah. It's really sad. I don't know why the geometry nodes would get rid of those normals. It must be that, though, it's incompatible with the weighted normal. Whatever the weighted normal is doing, the geometry node gets rid of. So here we'll send this to here. There we go. It's so funny when it actually starts looking right. It's like there's so much where your eyes just like betray you. You're like, does it look right? Is this what it's supposed to look like? Like, no, yes, that's much better. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, good. Now we're cooking with gas. That was a little rough, though. That was a little rough. Okay. So let's save that. And oh. barely got a chance to watch videos. That's no problem. Been so busy. There's no requirement. I appreciate your desire to, but certainly don't feel obligated. Okay. So now we're going to do the face high poly, which is this. And then face low poly, which is this. And for the face, I'm going to sneeze. Ooh, excuse me. It hurt my back. Sneezing. Now that's an old man sign of being old. Hurt your back sneezing. Yeah. Okay. So now, what we really want is that displace modifier from the body. Oops. And then we're going to take these and start exporting them into the bakes, which we'll call bullet face. Bullet face. Export that. And then we want the cage, so we turn these on. And we export the face. Cage. And then the high poly. Export that. Actually, we don't really need to because we already have poly. We'll go here. We're going to make a new file. Boo, boo, boo. Gorgeous. That looks really good. Very crispy. Could probably keep it at 1024, honestly. Ooh, excuse me. So now we're going to export this to the same folder as our other textures. Then in Blender, we will take both the face low poly and the body low poly. Make sure our displace is off for both of them, and export this into Unity. So much clicking, so much clicking. Interesting. All right. Oh, that's a good point. We have not made another material for the face. Do this. Actually, there's no reason to assign these yet because these are named improperly. We're going to delete these. Go back here. Turn off the low poly. Take our face low poly and export this into the bake face, Sims.3.2, export, save, back to substance, refresh the mesh, we lose our maps, but now we can tell it to reassign texture sets like that. There we go. But this should be face. Let's rebake. Save. Bake. 4K. Light diffusion. Use the poly. Use cage. Cage will be our face cage. Save and bake. Still need to adjust the face to include the little cheek spikes. Now we export. Perfect. Now we assign these. Metallic, smoothness, and then we can go to bullet, materials, and assign bullet face material. There's nothing assigned. Okay, so that is correct. Right now, the normals look really good, very crispy, very high quality. We're just missing our colors, which I think we can just get from the previous. Can I just copy and paste these? Copy. Just in case, we'll create a smart material, which we'll call bullet. Create smart material, save, copy, file, open, paste. Nope, can't paste it, so now we search bullet, and we drag this out. Perfect. Not quite perfect, definitely a little messed up, but a good starting point for a lot of these. Something's odd right here. Excuse me. Okay. I think we now have what we need to continue. Oh, it took a while. So what we do need to do now are the wings. The wings we have not finished. Let's go to frame 0, body height poly. For these here, what we want is just basically a little attachment point. For them to attach to the back. We're missing that thing. Gosh darn it. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the restroom. All right, I'm back. Okay. So this is our high poly one here. It's going to be like this little attachment point. Be good. We're going to take the wings, and instead of putting them in wings high poly, we're actually going to put them into the face collection. Because we're going to bake these together. Not like as in joining them together, just on the material. Ooh! Just released an updated imposter system. Faces look a lot better and there's less squish in the mid-body area. Very cool. It's an interesting thing to be working on. I think there's not a lot of games I see that have such a system. I don't think I've ever seen a system like that in a game, honestly. Especially not like a social game. Okay, so keep that there. Duplicate this. This one will send to the high poly. And then this one will send to the low poly. So the face low poly one, we want to unwrap. We can dissolve this segment. I do want to actually slice this. Actually, sorry, let me turn this down. About here. Bam. Bam. All right, that's fine with me. We'll mesh it, all transforms, and then go in through this side here. Seam, unwrap it, and pin. Well, not pin most of it. We want to pin this side. That's a low poly for the face. The high poly, we need to take these and create a cage for them. Yeah, so we're going to hide these, go to the low poly save, and we're going to open up one of our older versions of the model. Because I don't think we've changed the wings much, but in here, they're still free modifier, so don't know why we have multiple files right now. Let's go ahead and save as the original. No. But hello, Jack. Welcome. Do this. Get the pre-mapped, and now we want to save it as free. Save it there. Delete that. get rid of the second mirror. Both of these. Yeah. Okay. So close. Excuse me. Get rid of the bevel. We might put the bevel back on in a second, but for now we will get rid of it. Take the subdivision, turn it down 1. Same here, turn it down 1. Get rid of the bevel here. Now we do want the solidify. Okay, we will subdivision and the solidify. All right. Now we can cut this open. Good stuff. Now to unfold this one, we'll take this side, this side, this side. Take the corners. Make it something like this. Beautiful. Eight. I should just use the straight. All right, so now you can average the scale, move them over here. We do have 2 wings here, so we will apply the mirror for both of these. And then we'll hit back. Scale them down, select the face. That. Good stuff. All right, so now we can hit Control A on all of this, put it all to 0. Sort of. No, not quite. These still are not lined up with the high poly wings we currently have. So you can move them over here. Everything should be roughly the same. Cool. So now we can put them at all transforms. They're at 0 now. This is at 0. Nice. These can go to the low poly collection. And in here, we want to add a few other things. We want to add our weighted normal. We want to add our triangulate. And we'd also like to add our displace. Then we would also like to transfer the vertex group by name. So we should have a displace mod now. We do. Go. Looks pretty sharp. I think we can also run the body and copy over the bevel. All right, turn off the body. Like this. Oh. The modifiers. All right, crispy, delicious normals. All right. Hello, Toffee. How goes it? We're working on this character here. I'll show him off in a second. For now, need to get this exported. Turning on our perfect. Okay, that looks good. Now we can go to the high poly for the face and we can export this. Substance Painter V2 over to our bake for the face. High poly. Export. Then we go to low poly. Select all these. This will be our cage for the face. Then turn off the displace. And set this to just the face. Then we go to Substance Painter. We go to Mode, Bake. Refresh our mesh. And take the high poly and add in our new face high poly. Save and bake. So close to done. So close. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so here are the things to do. For the face high poly, our low poly does not integrate these spikes in. We would like to do that. So to do that, what we will do is take these edges here and rip them. So we get, or actually bevel them by at least one. And put these towards the front, sides. Good. Now, I'd actually rather take this section and indent it, scale it, extrude it, scale it, and push it down. So then I can run a cut like that. And now we should have a little bumpy. It looks pretty good for where the spike is. Cool. All that we will now replicate on this other one. But it's kind of in a tougher spot. But that ain't gonna stop us. That ain't gonna stop us. Right there. Cool. So base updated. High poly we don't need to update, but the low poly we do. We'll take everything this place is off. We will re-export the low poly, bam, and then the page. And then we can go Shift Control R, refresh that, mode, fake, and fake. Noise. A noise. A little rough there. A little rough. I think I'd rather adjust the high poly though to hug the face closer than adjust else. So let's do that. Go to the face high poly. Grab our little tip here. high poly. That's all I should need to update now. Oh, no, I still need to update the low poly too. So much clicking. So here's the cage. Here's the cage. Here's the normal. And I believe I exported the high poly, but I'm going to do it again because. Go here. What? For the high poly. When we edited this one, we also need to make a mesh. Sorry, make a mirror of this one, which we can then mesh. So it's the same. And now we can export again the high poly. Back to here, mode bake. Not too worried about that because it's hidden. And bake. Oh, the eyes. Cancel. Go here. So many things to do. All right. Very good. Slowly dialing it in. Ugh. Now back to here. Now we need to update the bake of the body. We'll go here, body, low poly. This one does not need to be updated. It is the high poly body that needs to be tweaked because we forgot this little piece here. Let's actually double check really quick. So body, pretty darn good overall. That's what we're fixing there. And I guess we need to fix this too, because that's extra crunch. And yeah, we're just missing those wings. Okay. So go to the low poly, take this and this, duplicate, send to the torso. Do that, take these. We can get rid of the triangulate and the displace. We will copy the, what color should it be? Should be same material as the torso. what we'd like to do is copy to this some subdivisions to make them look extra nice. Ooh, I want to pop my neck, but I should not. Feel it. I feel it. All right, that's the high poly that we're exporting right here. Bam. Save. Back to here. Open up the body again. Upload bake. Ooh, excuse me. A little bit of clipping right there, so we'll go to body low poly. Make sure our displacement is on. Take this. We'll do just a teensy little bit of weight paint. That should be good for the body cage. I don't see any more red. Big. That one triangle, or there's one square on the torso that's not baking. The wings sure do look better. Ooh, I love that ambient occlusion in there. Beautiful. We're getting this one square. It's kind of goofy. Is that from the high poly? Must just be that they're like right on top of each other. That's fine. That's fine. Is there something wrong with my UV map? That would be in here. Perhaps something is getting mirrored on the U. So these are fucked up. Huh. It has to be the triangulate then. Still there. So I think we'll move that back then, because I do prefer to have the triangulate after the weighting. Let's turn off the mirror. Turn off the display normals. Alt H, make sure there's nothing that's like hidden. Just recreate the face. Hello, Uni Krishnan. Welcome. I have ignore back faces on. You know, it doesn't matter. It's going to be covered up by the shoulder. It's going to be covered up by the shoulder, so I'm just going to live with that. Okay. All right. So now things are looking very good. Save that. Export the textures. Go to Blender, frame 1, body and face slope poly. Export to Unity. As soon as it loads. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. That's super crunchy. Crunchy. Ah, this is the displaced one. I was like, that sounds weird. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, I believe we have our baking version now. So I'm going to save a copy as 08 baking version. Save that there. Then we're going to slap or turn on some mirrors for these, like the legs. Like so. Been working on Maya software for 2 years, but I use Blender very less. My question is that should I risk not learning Blender? I think that if you are familiar with 3D software, that transition's not going to be as bad as maybe you think it is. You know, a lot of digital work is you end up hopping between different softwares, using a lot of different softwares. So I think that as good as, oh my god, I do want the mirror mod above. Dang it. I have to go back and undo that. Because I need it. Or I really just need the armature last. That's what it is. Okay. Armature. Should be mirror, then armature. But I think that if you have experience in Maya, it's going to be easier to get into Blender than just starting from scratch. It's still not going to necessarily feel like the most comfortable switch because there are a lot of differences in how you do hotkeys and things like that. But you'll certainly have a leg up compared to just learning it from nothing. I think having some experience with 3D software will make it easier. But in terms of, do you need to switch? Hard to say. I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to switch. Yeah, I don't think you have to. What am I doing here? So bevel, it's fine. Weighted normal, fine. Triangulate, yes, yes. That's all good. This one. That's all good except the displace. Should be like this. Be like this. Excuse me. Mirror displace armature. Mirror displace armature. Mirror displace armature. It doesn't have to do that, but that's not for the limbs out here. Definitely armature last. I fixed those ones. This one we do want like this. Mirror. Displace. There's no armature yet. Mirror. Displace. Armature. Mirror. Okay. That should be good. Now, what we want to do is take our rig, take the rig, Control P, armature, deform. Not everything is going to move. Okay. Those aren't moving around, and that's actually okay because we do need to use a different phone. One big reason why I want UBI. Stop my fave YouTube creators having to pour themselves out to Corpus. They can keep making silly videos. I'm sure it'll come soon enough with how fast things are getting in AI land. Do I use a bone for the pauldron? It's a tough question. I can see a way to make it work, so let's see. For now, we will not. We'll just do the shoulder itself. Okay. These fingers have the mirror in the correct order. Mirror then armature. All right. Cool. Then one more set of bones to make for our little wing back here. So we'll go ahead and make Shift A. The weight painting on this one. Wow, that is hard to see. um, All right, I think everything's attached now, except the joints. And for the joints, these are pretty straightforward because we're just going to attach them. And I like the most appropriate bone. This should be a single group that controls them. Single weight paint. Bang. Okay. So now he's fully rigged. Well, except for the face. We're getting there. Gonna go ahead and rename character to Bullet. Bam. Okay, and now we can use our AutoRig Pro export. That does not look right. Okay, so something's going wrong with our stiff, but that's okay, because it is time to start applying a lot of these things anyway. Leave the triangulate alone. I'd rather save that last. Get rid of our displace. Combine these two. This one. We apply the bevel. The bevel's probably what's breaking it. We're getting this extra crunchy nonsense going on here. But hard to say. Or is it because we're triangulating first? Because the chest is fine. And we have a bevel on that. Bevel, weighted normal, triangulate. Bevel. Triangulate. So the bevel has to be before the triangulate. We have that here too. The displace is off on everything. Try that again. Swapping it on the thigh change anything? Really? Just gets so mushy. Okay, then. I mean, we got to apply it. What else? What else can we do? Not much. It's definitely the bevel that's breaking it. Yeah, why don't we just start combining things? Hmm. Right. The base I will leave the mirror on for right now because we're still breaking it. Hmm. What can be mirrored? What cannot be mirrored? I'm just gonna apply it. Okay, everything should be good now. Right. All right. Now we can take a look here. Set this to humanoid. Now we can do a few things. We don't have a jaw. Good. Go to muscles. Excuse me. All right, so this is going to be interesting because it is kind of a question of how much we want certain things to be able to rotate. That looks fine to me. That looks fine. Please, 0. Really minimal. I mean, that's fine. $20. That's so fine. Then if we let the neck go forward, the same problem. So this one really needs to be like 5, 5. Can't really do much more than that. It's fine. That's fine. Eyes, I'm not worried about. That is what we were just testing, so we leave that. Left arm. So shoulder up, down. I think we just say 0. I don't want the shoulder to move at all. Shouldn't be able to move. Either way. I'm okay with it pivoting here. I know it's a little unrealistic, but I don't mind it. Okay, so that's left arm, right arm, shoulder, 0, 0, 0. Okay. That seems quite reasonable. Fine with that. Maybe a little less here. Forearm stretch -60. Okay. Twist, I'm gonna say 0. Because it doesn't look quite right. That's all good. Let's apply. Now let's look at the legs. I want to adjust the weight painting so there's less stretching there. Definitely on the inner, maybe -10 at the most. Yeah. The joint needs to rotate in the middle. So I'm not going to adjust that one just yet because I can't do it properly. Except for this. This should be 0. Lower leg twists in and out. Should be 0. Up and down, awesome. Foot twist, also 0. Know that already. Toes. Let's say less. Let's say -20 and 20. All right, let's apply all that. Say done. Save. Go back to Blender and let's adjust that knee position. I'm going to move it just slightly forward. Excuse me. That rotation leaves a lot to be desired. I don't want them to go in that way. So when we edit these, we want to adjust the recalculate roll local. Let's turn on the bone rotation. So this one we want global x-axis, global x-axis. Now, does that actually change how it calculates it? That I don't know. Will it actually change how it bends? Hard to say. No, we still get that. If I go back to edit, I'm assuming, yes, they're still rotated. So if we show IK directions, I can't move that one. I can't move this one. I can really only move this one up top. And that kind of helps really should be able to just manually set this. Anything. Okay, we'll move him in. Perfect. Okay, that should do it. And I could still keep this in the right position. We do want to kind of squish this and move it back just a little bit. We want a triangle there, and then this to just be back a little bit. Okay. Hopefully that works. Match to ring. Loaded. Yeah. Now the knee should bend better now. Ignore the metal for now. Configure. Pose, reset, sample, and of course apply. Go to the muscles and all right. Hello, Namers. Welcome. Okay. Very close to finish now. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. 1 second. 1 more hour. Can we finish him in an hour? That's the question. There. Oh, thank you, Nammers. Joints got crunchy. Oh. With it being a 4K texture? Oh my god. We got to. We got to. We got no choice. Alright. So for the eye, I'm going to make an Instamat image. Ooh. So his eye is pretty simple. It's just blue with like a white circle in the middle. To make that, first we have to go to the face. Let me check some things first. First, that looks really good. So why does it look crunchy here? That's not what's crunchy. What's crunchy is this thing. There. Which is probably missing the high poly version, because yes, it's over here too. So that should be a simple fix for baking. All right, let's focus on the eye. Let's make my final checklist for this Abby. Too much to do. Too much to do. Okay. It's the 14th. So bullet. We're just gonna finish. We're so close. So we got the eye texture. We want that to glow a little bit. We need the helm white strip. We need the teeth. Very important. Can't forget those. Gums. Need the gesture expressions. We need eye decal, or the eye makeup, I guess. Yeah. Still a lot of texturing that needs to be done, so I think I might double back and just focus on that. And okay, So there's that stuff, and then we've got the ankle fake air. Joint material. We've got the fizz bones. Wing toggle. And finger poses, hand poses. Which should be easy because we can just take the hand poses from other characters. So, all right. A lot to do. We'll start with this baking air. Excuse me. We're going to open our baking version. Go to the body high poly. This frame. And we're going to add another mirror. Okay. And we'll send this bake to the high poly body. Then we can go here, mode, bake, and bake. Excuse me, goodness. Okay. Now, that fixes those normals. It'll look a lot better. I would really like a joint texture. This right here. Joint. And grab this right here. I'd like to a dark gray, a little glossy, maybe not quite that glossy. There, and then most importantly for the height, get rid of the grunge, the metallic, decently metallic. Hello, Pablo, welcome. Okay, so those are the joints there. Then for our blue material, the pattern, we need to get a noise texture here. It looks something like, see, what happened with my hair? Got long? What happened with your hair? No, I do need to make a repeating pattern. Oh, it's not going to look right. All right, so we'll come back to that. Need to make the pattern. We did fix the ankle bake. We can scratch that off. Good. We made the joint material. Good. Really just this leopard pattern. I'm bald! We got an Instamat here. We're going to create a new Instamat project. We're going to call this element graph, new project without template. We're going to save this in client work. So Zen, and we'll do stuff. Okay, we'll call this leopard or board. And here, this one will be leopard. Leopard? No, I don't know how to spell leopard. Or pattern. Leopard. Leopard. It's close. What do you need help with? The element image gray. We'll do a let's see, base color, I suppose. Get a shape. Purple. This. We'll do an edge detection with a stroke width. I see. That's fine. Turn that up a bit. Then what I'm going to do is actually duplicate it or transform it. And then blend this back onto itself with a subtract or something. Boom. But move this down just little ways so we get this offset shape. Let's make this a little bit smaller. And then we'll transform it one more time. It's what do you need help with, Pablo? I'll do a tile, or actually we'll do a warp to this. We'll use some sort of noise. Making a type of cat. Very cool. And we'll blur this. And then tile scatter. Take this, put it here, pattern, position, learned a lot of topology and character making process. But I don't know much about UV packing and optimization of the space. So for this character here, we have all these different parts. And when I go to my view here, you can see this pattern. What I'm doing is I'm taking my objects here, and I'm applying this UV color pattern here. So this texture, this grid texture, is what we're seeing on the character right now. And generally, you want your resolution for your between all your parts to be roughly the same. It has to be flat. Yes. So basically, to make a textured model, you have your 3D version, and then you make your UV version, which is your flat version of your 3D model. And that flat version is what actually picks up the texture. Now, personally, I really prefer trying to make them as square as possible, I find that it just makes it a lot easier for me to think about how to paint them. Now, if you're going to do stuff like that, I recommend getting this tool called UV Toolkit. This is definitely going to help you out. Toolkit. Excuse me. I believe this is the one you want right here. It costs money? No, no, it does not cost money. It's free. But it's an add-on for Blender. Well, when I bought it, but since then it's become free because they took it down. But it's got a lot of useful features where you can like straighten things and do stuff like that. But generally, you're just trying to slice up your mesh so that it lays down nicely and that you can paint it easily. But it's all kind of variable. It really depends on what you're going for, the style you're going for. But generally, this is like what I am doing here. It's just, you just fill up this square, make sure everything is roughly the same size. Oh yeah, and then so seams are the cuts. So when I go to my view here, these red lines right here are determine where your cuts are being made. So that determines how, like if you imagine you had an orange peel, and to make it flat, to make your orange peel flat, you have to slice it. So, yeah, that's generally the process. It definitely takes a lot of trial and error to get used to it. Over the last week or so, I have been UV unwrapping this character, so you can always go back to one of my previous streams and watch how I do it. And there's a few other characters and stuff that I've unwrapped, and there will be plenty more too. All right. I'm going to focus on this leopard pattern. But yeah, that's generally the gist of it. Hopefully that helps. For watching you in live and asking you plenty of questions. Well, I don't mind answering the questions, but I won't be doing much UV mapping at the moment. So if you do want some more, I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and export this 2048. We're going to put this into the folder we're in right now. Instamat. Select this folder. We're going to do just a base color with alpha. No. Make a new one. Call this grayscale or mask. Did this, or grayscale, base color. RGBA. Sure. No image for template channel. That's annoying. Okay, so then it doesn't want a grayscale output image. Like that. Save. Export and export again. Rename it. There we go. Now it did export. We can go to Painter. We can take our little pattern that we just made, drop it here. We're going to call this alpha. Import. And it is called a leopard pattern, and we'll just drop this into here. And we'll set it to triplanar. Tile it a few times. Something like that. Cool. And then we'll just sample the color from it. It should be a little bit denser than I have it right now. Bam. Let's adjust it in Instamat. We'll go here, tile scatter. Take the size, turn it back up, and export again. Back to here. Reload. Re-add. Okay, cool. That's good. Nice. Is modeling your passion? Making things is my passion. Modeling is one way to make things. I want to do more than I am right now with this at some point. Animations, things like that. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I think for just a start, for your so for your circular patterns here, so I'm assuming these tubes here. So like on the legs here, you want to slice one edge so that it actually unfolds. Instead of making a circle, it'll unfold into a strip. These circular ones are what you want to watch out for. Everything else is pretty much okay, like you can get away with it. But these circular ones, you'll just want to go and slice one edge along the loop and here as well in order for it to actually lay down flat. Looking at the like horns and stuff, I would say don't put the cut on the very front, put it on the inside or like kind of an edge that you're not looking at as directly. And in here too, like on the arm, put it on the underarm. For the leg, put the cut on the inside, just because if there is going to be any air, you want it to be as hidden as possible. And then for the hand, I would cut along the side, following the fingers, like if you cut, like if you laid your hand down and you drew around it, that's kind of the cut you want to make. It's following the fingers and around the body. And then you can stop on the pinky. So then it just unfolds. Your hand unfolds like this. It's probably, fingers are really hard to get right. I have a very specific way I like doing it, but I think for just like a test character, for what you're doing here, it's going to be fine. Well, thanks. Yeah, I just really like doing this. And I think that I can make like a little studio with it in the long term. Well, that's the hope. The hope. Teach me your ways. It has to be as good as possible. Well, just keep in mind that you're making the best what you can make right now. Even right now with what I'm doing, I always feel that I learn something new every time. So you're always going to be in a position where you're figuring things out. The learning doesn't stop. It never stops with digital art. There's always more, for better or worse. It smells kind of weird in here. I'm gonna teach me your ways. Well, I'm always here. I definitely, if you have questions and stuff, I'll probably be here. Okay, we did the leopard pattern. That looks good. Go ahead and close that off. Now we're gonna focus on the face. Right. So a lot of these elements here are not quite this dark. So this here should be kind of a lighter gray. Well, just some of it. So let's add a template in here with the correct color correction we're about to do. And a few pieces that right off the bat we can paint correctly. It's going to do the whole thing there. What we want it to be is this little strip on top. One thing I forgot. The arm blades. There should be blades on the arms. Arm blades. Those will be pretty easy to make. Okay, so we've got that. And then this metal strip here should actually be white. Okay. that matches closer. We'll cross that off. Then we need the eye makeup. So there's actually like a little pattern around the eyes. We'll put that here. We'll call this eye makeup. We'll add a paint. In the paint, we'll add this. Go ahead and adjust the hardness and the size. Okay. And then we can just kind of do a little quick outline. Something like that. And it's just dark gray. Yeah. All right. I think we can up the resolution a little, 2048. And we can continue to adjust our path here until we get something a little bit nicer, because there are some more details here. Make the size a little bit smaller again. Oop, well, I didn't want to zoom out, but should be a way to make it sharp. Figure that out in a second. All right. And then in here, we'll add an actual paint layer. Manually go in and paint it. Yeah, they don't have like some sort of fill option. That would be really nice, but instead, manual. I may go back and actually just do this with geometry. Because it's funny, because like even the way I'm making this with like the paint and stuff just feels so imprecise. Like if I had just made a little shell of a mesh to float over the geometry and just bake it in, then it's like then whenever I need to change it, I can rebake it. I think I am going to do that actually. So boom, boom. We're going to go back. We go here to, we're in the Baker version. We're going to go to body high poly, or actually face high poly. One. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to put my cursor right here and make a plane. Rotate that plane, bring it way down. And then I'm going to cover up the face. We're going to start by just doing a little retopology view. I will actually get a shrink wrap going, attach it to the face, and set it to project on the Y. Oh, and then a subdivision surface, which I'll put here. So something's still wrong. The normal's so fucked. Oh, I see. There we go. Good. All right. So we've done that. Now we're gonna add one more data transfer. We're gonna do face corner data. We're gonna copy the normals of the face. Why do this? Because then when we bake it, it's flush. Perfectly flush. Which is nice. Okay. There's also the white strip along the eye too, so we'll make that as well. First, what we'll do is turn on our ability to select things. Copy that material. Take this little segment, duplicate it. Separate it to its own object, which we'll then remove and give the white material. And then instead of using data transfer, we will actually solidify this one after we make it, because that way I can actually see what's going on. Boundary loop and crease, and it does kind of go over there. I'm not sure if it should, but it does. I'll get rid of that. And then just turn up this offset very slightly. Interesting. Okay, we'll see how that goes. We're going to go ahead and take this and this and parent it directly to the face. Everything's up there. Very good. Export face high poly substance v2. Export save back to here. Mode bake. Bake. A little bit of poking through. Thankfully, just a little bit more subdivision resolution will fix that. Well, because it's a really good starting point. Materials there. How does it already have the... Oh yeah, because of course it has the color, because I need color. And the eyeball is going to be in there, so that's good. Let me take this, turn up that subdivision. 1, 2 times. And maybe we will put that solidified back on. Still getting below. I wonder if the cage is below it. It must be, yeah. We can see it poking through right there. That's okay. The eyeball will fill that in completely. And honestly, that looks pretty cool. I don't feel like I need to add much more there. Okay, cool. So eye makeup done. That's good. Now what we'd like to do is there is a white strip along the helm right here. Again, I could paint that by hand, and I won't, because that's a waste of time. What we're going to do is just make a selection on our object here. It looks like it's pretty much this whole strip going from like right here to over here. That. So out a little ways. Seems like a lot of work to kind of do that, so I could slice it. Why don't we just try that. All right. Hello, Samuel Fluxus Haynes. Welcome. Ooh, crunchy. That is the edgeware that's doing that. We're going to take the white paint and put it above the edgeware. And I think we do a little bit more to clean that up. I kind of like the look of it, honestly. Let's give it a difference in height. We'll kind of push it down a little ways. Make it catch the edge a little bit. And then flex right here. I think we'll add an anchor point. Make a template flat right here. Add in the fill anchor point for the mask we just made or used. Filter, bevel, set the bevel to like inverse subtract and push it outwards and darken it. So we get this nice soft edge there. Softer edge. And I suppose maybe a little bit of blur. Maybe the blur should be here. What's making that harsh edge there? It's probably the color selection tolerance for one of these. Can you program it? I can do a bit of programming. I mostly make little add-ons for myself, but nothing too crazy. live with that. And then we'll get rid of this, get rid of that filter, add a paint, turn on, no need for symmetry. We will simply, okay, there is something else grabbing it. Okay, well, let me put that blur back on. What is causing that? Oh, I can see it right there. It's not our tolerance. It's not the white. What is that? Base. Base selection. Okay, good. So now, back to our paint. Got our nice little bevel going. I like how that looks now. Do a smooth. A little bit of smoothing there. And then we can paint out our white, black. All right. Very good stuff. So one effect that I have not added yet that I do really like to use is the world space shadowing. It does make a very big difference. So we'll set this to multiply. And go into world space normals. Then we're going to flip top to bottom. So we're going to flip it. That should change it. Huh, that. Interesting. Okay. Whatever. We don't have time for that. So top to bottom. You can change the balance. Push it down, turn up that contrast. Put something right around there. And then just kind of lower the effect. It just adds a bit of shadow on the bottom. Contrast is in order. Well, how much costs a 3D person? I charge about $1,000 for a from scratch avatar. And if anyone's interested, I do have a website you can go to, which I will paste in chat. Bada boom. And so this is the character we're working on right now. Fully custom character. We're just finishing up a lot of the textures right now for him. Getting very close to done. But I will actually be going on lunch in just a moment because I need to go get my run in for the day. Not before I add this shadow S. Here. I think I was just clicking the wrong section. We're missing the middle strip right here. Have a fun break. Thank you, Top Cat. Yeah, I'll be heading up just a second. Midriff, middle. See. In. All right. Now we get this nice shadow on the arms. It's a little strong. Also having a break sounds good. Sounds good. Gotta go to my dad. Well, enjoy. I'll catch you later. Metal levels. Push this around because it's pretty strong. Yeah, that looks really good. Well, pops. Okay, and then we'll add one more world space normals on top, which we will actually use the front to back, or maybe right to left. Set to or touch. Interesting. Right to left. It's getting the back of it. You can see it working pretty well right there. All right, one more. This one we will actually use as a multiply, and we want the top to bottom, I guess, set to Overall, it just gives it a little subtle movement, which I like. I like that a lot. Maybe even this one we do the it's subtle, but I feel like it adds a lot. Okay. Enough of that. All right, break time. I'm gonna go ahead and get my run in. I'll be back very soon. Probably just an hour. Usually I take 2 hours, but it's gonna be a quick one today. I'd prefer to end a little bit earlier. So we're almost done with this character. And then we got a little bit more work to do. But thank you all for hanging out with me this morning. Hope you're all having a great Saturday, great weekend so far. Have a good lunch. See you soon. See you soon, neighbors. Have a nice break. Thank you, Arctic. Thank you. And thank you, Pablo. Hope you're all having a good day. Thank you, Top Cat. I'll see you in just a little while. Bye-bye. Bye.